Dímelo, mi gente. What up? It's your boy Gus from GusVillaJewelry, back with another podcast, but this time the podcast has changed. We have completely redone the entire thing. We're actually going to take things serious because here's the thing. For the most part, we've been, truth be told, throwing this podcast to the side. And it's something that I just kind of do, and then my boy kind of does, and like we just kind of throw it out to the side, but not no more. We have rebranded. My Let's Talk Bling podcast name is finally out the window, for the love of Christ. It's one of the worst podcast names in the world. It is now rebranded to the VVS podcast, Very Senseless. We have my boy, DJ Melo. He is the co-host. He's going to be with me every single week, and we are going to do things the legit way with an actual structure. So without further ado, introducing my co-host, DJ Melo. Can we get a clap in the back?
Here we are, dog. Creepy. Get with the program, dog. Creepy's been let me tell you something. He's mediocre, always. He's never not mediocre.
You're right.
Today.
Oh, it's just been so...
Look at him, dog.
I apologize how bad he has been. Because here's the thing. This is like Mount Rushmore of worst creepy performances. You know what I'm saying?
Gonna be a top 3, and it ain't 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying?
It's 1, 2, 3. You know? So I apologize about the poor production. Our producer is just, subpar at best, guys. You'll see how bad it is. You'll see how bad it is. So the structure of this show is going to go as follows. We are going to talk about 5 trending topics. They could be on Twitter. They could be on Instagram. They could be on the web. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be
on C-SPAN.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun. There's going to be a 10-minute timer. All we're going to do is just shout out the actual headline. We're going to talk about it. You're going to laugh. What we want to do is bring you into this room, have a chat like you're listening to your boys. This ain't going to be an inspirational podcast, like I said before. You're not going to hear me Gary Vee-ing it up and talking about some inspiration. No. This is going to be chilling with your boys. So let's get on to the first topic. As always, 5 topics, 10 minutes a topic. Hit me with the first one.
Let's go. You can now bet on the Special Olympics.
Wait, hold on, damn it. Hold on. Yeah. Give me the headliner. What does it headline?
Literally, it says you can now bet on the Special Olympics, and then you read about it. And here we are.
All right, so here, you know what? You know how sick I am in the head. I'm gonna tell you. So my boy, our boy, you know who he is, sends me every once in a while some like videos of hot girls with Down syndrome.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Where do you draw the line, dog?
If there are people out there that know what I'm talking about, there's like a page, and here's the worst part. Instagram knows that you're into that content, so it just puts nothing but like hot girls with Down syndrome.
If you're down, I'm down. God damn it.
Yeah, the comments are the worst.
Dog. Like be poison, dog.
Yeah, I think I'm chromosexual.
Yo, some of these posts these days, the comments are better than the actual post, dog. You know what I mean?
But some of these chicks are... dog. Yeah, hell
what do you mean? Like,
yeah, no.
Give me an explanation.
Yeah, no,
because I'm not into it.
No, here's the thing. You're not at all.
No.
Okay, cool. So there'd be like usually like a girl. Like here's
I've never seen it.
Here my boy sent me one the other day, and it's like this girl is just dude. She's
what? Like she has a banging body, you know. But is she like in a thong?
Yeah,
like is she like? Is she aware that she's hot and now she's like an Instagram model?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, but you gotta paint the picture because I don't even know what you're talking.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. Okay, all right. So like you know how like there's a TikTok dancer and they'll be dancing in front of the TikTok.
What is she wearing? You gotta give me the thing.
All right. I'm gonna tell you right now. She's in full spandex, like tight.
Oh, so she knows. She's got it.
She looks right, dog.
Yeah, she knows she's got it. Not that she's good.
So here's the thing. So she like the post starts with like a back shot. So it's like you see the booty, you're like, damn, mommy, like let me double tap that. And then she turns around, the syndrome. And I'm like, oh no, that's terrible. And
but then you were like, oh,
yeah, I'm like,
kinda.
oh, you know what?
You know what? Maybe like that GIF you've seen that.
So I go immediately into the comments, and it's like, smash. Next question.
It's like that pod. You ever see like there was like I don't know some random podcast where he was like, for $1 million would you? And the guy's like, I'd suck it. Yes, I'd suck it. Like,
I'd suck it twice just to make sure.
But anyways,
that's what I literally thought when it was happening. I was like, oh my god, dog. Like, can you imagine? But those are terrible posts.
Yeah,
and I don't endorse them.
No, I don't endorse. Nor do I comment on them.
Yeah. But so all right. So now that we know that we're all into Down syndrome hot girls.
So now you can bet on the Special Olympics, dog. I mean, I'm not a betting man. I want to get into it because now Hard Rock it got approved. The betting situation here in Florida got approved, right? So I'm ready to bet. And I'm ready to start betting there.
So
you know?
Say, for instance, you're into like sports or whatever.
Right.
Like you can get some really crazy insider information.
Right.
Like, oh, this dude has like a broken leg or whatever. Right. Like, right? So like you can kind of guesstimate
now it's an even playing field. They all have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So now it's hard to bet on that. Like, what's the spreads? You know, how does Vegas come up with this stuff?
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the question that
I have.
Because it's even today. Today it's, you know what I mean? It's even. The games are even, dog.
Yeah, dog. But like,
you know what I mean?
But sometimes it's not like a like. Also, we're on the other side of the spectrum because we're thinking like handicap, like mentally, right? Because most of the handicap is like missing a leg.
Yeah,
or,
that could be that too. It could be people in wheelchairs. It could be. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, right.
So like,
right. Correct. I get what you're saying. Yes.
Because I'm over here thinking like they're gonna do the javelin throw, but he's extra slow.
Jesus Christ! This is episode 1, season 1, dog.
Canceled.
That was it, dog. You're gonna get a YouTube policy review. This whole situation is gonna be awful.
All right. So how do you predict?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
How do you give someone more odds than the other?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Is he missing 2 legs? The other dude's missing 1.
Is it below the kneecap, over the kneecap? You know what I'm saying? Those are all great questions. But look, I don't bet and I want to get into it, I'll start there.
Okay.
I feel like, you know what I mean?
You think you have more of a shot on a handicap?
I don't know. I think it's harder. I think it's harder. So then when I bet on the regular games, then it's just a breeze. Because at that point, now I know. You know.
The thing about most betting in general is the fact that you can predict based on their talent.
Yeah.
There's always the element.
But there is. We don't watch. There's probably okay. If you're able to bet on it now, like that means that there is some sort of like there might be a Michael Jordan of that world.
I'm gonna hit you with a bomb. I'm gonna hit you with a super bomb right now.
Oh, now.
Yeah. After I said all that, because here's the thing. I have a cousin of mine, blood cousin. Yeah. So she is my dad's first or his younger sister. My dad is the oldest of 10. He's the youngest, the one that came right after him. So number 9 of 10, or number 2 of 10, I should say.
Right.
Her daughter, which I grew up with in Colombia, is a tennis champion but she's wheelchair tennis.
Okay.
And she was born with 1 leg. And, you know, shout out to her.
Right, yeah,
shout out to Maria Angelica out there. She's my blood cousin.
Awesome.
Yeah. And she is a beast in tennis. And she only has 1 leg, but she's on a wheelchair. And she's a badass.
Right.
Like a badass. So she's ranked, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what she's ranked, but she's top 5 or top 10 in the world.
That's, you see what I mean? So there's levels to it.
So what you're saying is true.
There's levels to this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's actually really, how do you do that? How do you have you seen her play tennis?
I don't know. So the thing is, so she comes into town and then she chills with us because like she could like stay in a hotel or whatever. Right. But since she has family here, she always comes to my parents' house. So she comes to my parents' house. I always go visit her. Like, and the crazy part is I had an interesting conversation with her not too long ago because, you know, you a lot of times you talk to like athletes or whatever, or you talk about athletes in like sports shows or whatever, but you don't actually get to talk to a real athlete. And I'm not saying that she's LeBron James or anything
but she's top 10 in the world.
But she's exactly.
So she
exactly.
And
so
that's a hard thing to do. I can't even imagine how.
Right, exactly. So she's an actual athlete that goes like, they look for her diet, what she's training a day.
So they're investing into her. You know what I mean?
Thousands. She has sponsors.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, she gets flown to like different parts of the country. She'll be in. So when let's say, for instance, there's a French Open. She'll go in, like, so the French Open will be televised on TV, and then she'll come afterwards, and then they'll play, whatever, like whatever it is. Yeah. And so she's in multiple parts of the country. She'll be in Dubai, she'll be in Miami, she'll be in France, she'll be in England, like the whole 9 yards. Insane. And they have a ranking for it, and like narrators and the whole 9 yards. It's a whole another world.
On what channel is this? The Ocho?
ESPN? Yeah, ESPN2. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is on. So I was having a conversation with her in my living room. And I remember asking her, I didn't really care so much about like what her everyday was, but I asked her, I was like, how does it like feel to lose a tournament? Because, you always see like, let's say, for instance, you're on ESPN, you see the winner and you're like, oh, then the loser's like crying and they go, and then it's over, you celebrate for that night and then ultimately like whatever. And so she's gone to finals, multiple finals in her life. And I was like, how does it feel to work your ass off as hard as you can, eat all the right foods, eat Wheaties, eat this, eat that, you know what I mean? You can't have a liquor, alcohol. You got to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning when no one's looking and you got to like hit balls and do all this crazy shit, all to get to somebody. And no matter what happens, they're just better than you and you just lose. Right. I remember that's
a good question for athletes in general.
Yeah. And she like went into like this deep soliloquy on what it meant of like, dude, it's super hard. Right. And she said a real quote that stuck with me. And it's the same quote that what's the guy who recently died, who was the narrator of the LA Dodgers, the real famous dude. Okay, whatever. Ahead. She said, it hurts more to lose than it feels good to win.
Yeah, that's true, dude.
And I sat there in the room and I was like, oh my God. Like,
you on your 2 legs, dog.
Yeah. My fat ass.
You can't even run around the corner, dog.
Who hasn't jumped on a treadmill since Nam. Was just like,
you were fired up.
Yeah.
You were fired up. Yeah.
It was tough.
You still didn't get off your ass.
No, of course not.
You're still fired up. Well, now I have insider information. I'm going to bet on her for the, what I mean?
But here's the thing, like outside of like hot Down syndrome girls, like.
But here's the thing: why weren't you able to bet on this before? I don't see any. I don't know. Is it like a moral thing? Like, how would you like? Do you feel good betting on that?
No, because the thing is, it doesn't matter. More like the reality is, betting is it's
already a degenerate kind of thing.
Exactly. The very core of betting is like you're a piece of shit. Like, like kind of, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, dog. Like, why, it should have already been the case, dog. Because,
I don't know why they don't do it. But the point is, it's crazy the fact that, like, now it's an actual thing. But if you really get down to the crux of it, it's just like any other betting.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's just like any other betting.
Like, let's say, for instance, we'll use my cousin as an example. She is top 10 ranked. Yeah. And she's going to go up against someone who's super raw. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like, all right, cool. Like, she's won her last matches. She's this.
You start putting the pieces together.
She's like, she's better on clay because whatever. Like, the wheelchair rolls faster. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean?
It's all the same stuff.
Point is, don't laugh. Don't make it weird. The point is, it's like that in a way.
Oh, man. We should have started, we should have left this in the last topic, dude, because now we're going to get super judged.
Whatever, dog. But you know what I mean, though? Yeah. Like, to a certain extent, it has a lot to do with, like, just regular stats. Now, it begs a really interesting question. Why the hell wasn't it allowed before? Or wasn't it allowed to be before? Because the reality is... Yeah, or you know what? Maybe it is frowned upon. It
might have been one of those things, like sending your friends, hot Down syndrome girls. Yeah, that's not right.
Maybe it was frowned upon.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Who the hell knows? But the point is, now you could do it, and like I said, I don't see it being any different than anything else that you're gonna do ever.
It's just a funny headline, really, what it is. But when you really break down to it, it's all the same stuff. Yeah. It's just where you can get your insider information.
What's really messed up is the fact that I thought it was like a mental challenge.
But there's all kinds of different, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, handicap doesn't mean that it's, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Whatever.
But that's the first thing, and that's the first story you said. The DM and the stuff.
10-minute timer goes on. Next topic. All right, that was a good one. That was
more than 10 minutes.
No, that was 10 minutes on the button. All right, hit me with the next one.
All right. Cool.
So we wrote down all the topics. Topics number 2.
I'll keep going if you want.
No, it's fine. No, listen to me. Look, here's the thing. Yeah, so so here's the thing. All right, so here is topic number 2, and here's a kind of gross one. I'm gonna read it out loud, and then we're just gonna kind of go into it. Topic number 2 comes from Colorado funeral homeowners arrested following the discovery of 190 decaying bodies. The story goes, they wanted to charge a creming fee. So like when they
run that by me one more time.
Come again.
Hey, yo, what do you mean by that?
Like a cremation fee. A
creaming fee. This took
I'll
a
show
whole
you creaming fee. So they did a cremation fee. So the cremation fee it's a big fee to cremate someone,
right.
and they weren't cremating or creaming them.
they weren't getting creamed. Just ultimately,
yeah, and they were being thrown in the back, and then the neighbors were like, "Yo, it stinks," and so they got out and they were like, "You know, obviously you guys are doing something wrong." Police showed up. 190 bodies in the back, just thrown there, decomposing.
But what's the point? Like, what's the end game there?
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't have the facilities ready to cremate the bodies, but they were basically just accepting the money and throwing the bodies out, not really cremating them.
They just had a crib and they were like, "Oh, wait, let's start."
No. They're a funeral home. They're a funeral home.
But if you're not, okay.
Yeah, they're a funeral home.
So there were still caskets and stuff.
Yeah. So people would come in and say, "Oh, I want to cremate my dad." And be like, "Oh, yeah, let me get $7,000." Okay, cool. Yeah, we just throw them in the back.
But don't you go as a family to go see them get cremated sometimes?
I don't know how it works.
Me neither. I've never seen that. I thought I saw it in movies before where you like people look at it,
and so
or maybe it's like an option.
Yeah, and so people are thinking like some of these people like who are the recipients of the cremated or the decomposing of the creamers, the creamy. So the creamy is like, yo, we think that some of like these ashes aren't even like my parents' ashes anymore because like you guys have 190 bodies back there. Like, what if my uncle was back there? You took my $7,000 or $10,000 or however long it was.
But they would still give away ashes.
They would give away it, so it's like fake ashes. Like maybe they would just burn a tree and just like, oh, here's an urn, but like let me get your $12,000 for like cremating your body. Yeah, I just pocket that shit.
That's awful, dog. But they just didn't think it through. I mean, if you're gonna do something so sick, like this, if you have one dead body, there's gonna be a smell. 190? Where do you fit 190 bodies? Like,
yeah, so the
trolls came up. What did you think was? What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah,
dog?
But they showed up and
that happened in Central Florida for sure. That's a North Florida. That's a Florida man thing.
No, Colorado actually.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. So they showed up. The cops showed up and they were just like, dude, like you guys are being investigated for like complaints of smell. Like what smells so horrendous? And they went to the back and there was 190 cadavers that were like rotting away of people they thought were like, being cremated, and they weren't, but they were still collecting the bread.
That's sick. That's sick. Colorado, it sounds about right too. Like Colorado's boring. It's kind of like Washington in that area where it's like always like overcast and just ugly, and then everybody's in like trench coats and shit. Like, so that kind of stuff would happen over there. That's sick. That's disgusting.
A lot of times these kind of like weird storylines happen in like just depressed cities.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like a Seattle. Seattle's so nice, but it's just like you see the
and
people
the people
there.
are so nice.
They are nice, but they're also very sad. Yeah. They're super sad and depressed, and they're just trying to make everybody else happy.
Yeah.
And then they go home and cry. That's what happens, dog. Yeah. So that probably must have been like at that tip of like Colorado where it's like leads more northwest.
Yeah.
Like that couldn't have happened in Denver. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of front businesses that are out there like that aren't doing half the stuff that they say they're doing. Like, for instance, Miami. Come on, let's be serious. Like, let's be 100% real. This podcast is filmed in Miami. We are both Miami boys. if you guys have never been to Miami, Miami is the most superficial town in the world, and money laundering is run amok out here. Let's be serious. I'm gonna give you a story. There's a lady who on one, I won't say the town it's in. I'll just say the town. It's in North Miami Beach. Okay. Actually, people are going to be able to Google it. Damn it, I just said it. Whatever. Oh, she doesn't own this kind of business, but it's kind of like this business. Let's just say she owns a, I don't know, a sock store, right? Because to give you because people are going to be able to Google what this is, and I don't know if it's real or not. So I may be talking trash, but let's just go with it. It's a sock store, right? It's what she's actually selling is just as useless as having a sock store. And that particular store existed since I could remember. Right. It's always been there. And I have drove by that store in North Miami Beach hundreds of times, thousands of times. And she was out there selling socks. And I was like, dog, there's no way this place is selling socks. Babo, how many people are going out there and saying, oh, let me drive to a store.
To the sock store. Gotta get some socks. I gotta go to the sock store,
to the sock store. Let me back up. Get into
you pass by Target. You pass by Walgreens, Walmart, everywhere. No, because I'm going to the sock store.
And get to the sock store. And then the thing is, I've driven by there at night, and like the lights are on, and there's people, and it says open, and there's a little sign that's flipped over, and it says open. Like, this is a legit place. And I sat there and thought to myself so many times, I was like, bro, there's no way that that's real. And so maybe 10 years ago, and again, I'm not a businessman. Like, I don't know what it could be.
You are a businessman.
You get what I'm saying, though. Like, I'm totally speculating because I was like, there's no way that is a legitimate business. You're on a main road in a very, very busy area in Miami. How are you possibly paying the rent selling socks? You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be thousands of socks that you sell for you to be making business. It is a drug front, 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah. Come to find out, that lady and her son got arrested because they were pushing kilos in the back of their sock shop.
And there it is.
And it was actually true. It was a drug front. Straight up drug front.
Yeah, and that sounds super Miami. That's what Miami's about.
1,000%.
But that's the difference between Miami and Colorado. Like, Colorado, they probably like the smell and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I just like the smell of dead bodies. They probably had the machine. They were like, nah, dog, I'm gonna just, you know what I'm saying? Here, it's like, nah, we gotta make this bread, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The son was pushing keys.
I gotta buy this Amiri. I gotta buy this Balenciaga, dog. I gotta pop this bottle. You know what I'm saying?
But it goes to show how many people are out there just fronting on regular stores that have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, no,
imagine you thinking that you're cremating your uncle. And homegirl's pocketing that 12 grand, whatever it is, 7 grand, 12 grand, whatever it is, and your uncle's just chilling in the back of like some
just
burial.
They wouldn't even bury. Like, that's what I imagine them stacking them one on top of the other at this point.
I can't tell you the gory details of what happened, but the headline goes something along the lines of like, when the detectives got there, they were horrified by what they saw.
I mean, it's 190 decaying bodies. That I would never. No, that's awful. I would never be a cop for just because of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's so. A lot of times you get these businesses that aren't really those businesses, and you walk around them and you think shit is sweet, and it ain't.
And it's probably like the nicest lady too, right? Like, they made you feel super comfortable. Great customer service. On Yelp, they had like 4.5 stars, and it was just one. They could have had 5 because one person was upset because of cualquier random ass thing. You know what I mean? They were like super great.
It'd be like me, like
you left smitten like after their like encounter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'd be like me running a jewelry store, but I'm really what I'm really running is like a casino. Or a strip club, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, dog. But it's morbid, dog. It's morbid. You come up with it like last week. You came up with some like the restaurant thing.
The one with faking the heart attacks?
Dog. Like, you're kind of a disgusting person.
Faking the heart attack. Here's the thing, though.
What? You know what I mean? Like,
what draws you to the nasty?
Yeah, to the nasty, dog. Because that's nasty, dog. You know what I mean?
190.
We were talking about poop last time and food. Now we're talking about decaying bodies.
190 decaying bodies was disgusting.
As if last week wasn't already disgusting as it was.
All right, so we're on to topic number 3. How do I
you
say?
keep forcing this, dog. This French word situation, dog.
I don't actually know how to say. I don't know. No, hey, producer, dog.
No,
don't worry
no,
about
just,
it, dog.
hey, no,
just
it's-
cut in front of the
yeah,
camera,
twice,
dog.
dog.
No. Oh yeah, this is your world. We just live in it, dog.
Yo, he just gave a whole story about how we're gonna be organized, how we're
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
professional, dog.
And he just
Look
cuts
at
right
him,
in
look
front
at
of
him.
it, dog.
Can we talk? We have our bartender in here right
All
now.
right, so all right, guys, shout out for the people that are watching this in South Florida. If you ever happen to come down to downtown Miami, there's a little crappy little bar called Tipsy Flamingo
With crappy little bartenders.
With crappy little bartenders.
Literally crappy, literally little.
And so they're in the building right now. They're watching the podcast live. It's our first live audience. And let's cut to the third topic. Ready? Hit that timer, creep.
You got the timer? Or, oh, I'm sorry, dog. We're putting him to work today, dog.
God
My
forbid.
bad, dog.
God forbid,
No.
dog. God forbid.
All right,
let's
so
go.
this was actually like super.
Oh, you're not going to read it. You're just going to go. You're just going to go with it. Oh, okay,
You
cool.
know, I studied
No,
this stuff.
It's
You know
cool.
what I
It's
mean?
cool. It's
dog?
cool.
I have a whole thing.
Okay,
it's
cool.
a whole thing now.
10-minute timer. Go.
It's the lady that got into an argument. She was like screaming. I didn't actually see the video. I'm not gonna lie to you, but she was screaming at the passenger behind her because she was trying to put her seat back, and the one behind her kept pushing the seat up. So it was like a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So and then it begged the question: who's right and who's wrong? You travel a lot.
No, but here's the thing. I didn't see the video.
Hold on, but you're Mr. First Class. Here we go.
I knew that was
forgot
coming.
about it.
I knew
I
that
can't
was
even
coming.
ask you. This is, you know what I'm saying?
Look,
No.
Look,
Bye,
guys.
no.
No, here. All right, let me clarify. Let me clarify what he's talking about. I have an American Express card. Shout out to American Express Gold Card. When I use it for the company, so the company pays for everything that I use. Oh, we're gonna watch the video. All right, hit me with the video. Yeah, let's watch the video. Yeah, no, I mean, Christ. All right, let's cut off. Let me watch the video. We're going to cut to the video, and I'll be right back with the reaction.
Whole trip, she pushed my seat. No, you seen it. No, she didn't. She put, no. I'm allowed to put my seat back. I'm allowed to put my seat back. I'm allowed to put my seat.
Okay, all right. All right. So now that I've seen the actual video,
Is it okay?
no. But here's the thing. I thought it was a lot more dramatic.
It was pretty dramatic.
I thought it would be like
How much more dramatic do you want to be? You want to be
No,
just
no. I wanted to be
fighting?
like a fight. Yeah, like I'm a little, like punch it out.
Flavor of love.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I don't know what I did with this. But the point is, a lot of times I saw there used to be a local radio show, and they talked about like, do you put the seat back as in the back, right? And technically speaking, is it good etiquette? No, I don't think so. However, can you put it back? Technically, the seat is designed to go back. And I've been on the recipient of someone reclining their entire seat back and me just having to eat an hour from like Charles de Gaulle to Miami, which is like 8 hours, you know, and I've had to just sit there and just eat it.
What do you mean eat it, dog? What do you mean eat it?
Like,
I'm 6'2", and people have done that. Every time I've traveled, people do that. That's fine. I have no issue with it.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't change anything.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't bother me. There's no. But you're saying like eat it like if it's a,
No. But I'm saying like it's not a comfortable situation.
It's not an uncomfortable situation.
No, for a lot of people it is.
How?
Because the thing is, okay,
dog?
so like
No.
you're
That's
in
what
a
I'm
seat
saying.
again. I'm not. I'm not the pinnacle fitness here.
Peak male performance. dog.
This ain't Body by Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's be serious here. But when I sit down, and you will feel the same thing. Maybe your limbs are longer than mine, but we're not the same height. You're taller than me, but nevertheless, when someone puts their seat back, it presses up against my knees.
Does it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, it doesn't.
And
really
so, like,
even
if
do
you're
it to-
look,
you just kind of like lean down, dog.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
get
mean?
it.
Like,
There's
lean
ways to
down,
go
and
around
then
it.
you lean your chair back.
That's what
and
I'm
you're
saying.
Chilling, dog.
I'm with you. Look, bro, I traveled and I've gone to many, many countries in the world, more specifically like third world countries where traveling in even if you have money is not a thing. I went recently, September of this year, I went to Ecuador. It doesn't matter if I have bread or doesn't have I bread. That's irrelevant. I had to go from one city to another city that didn't have a major airport. So I went from, to give people context, I went from basically the capital, Quito, or I'm sorry, it was like Guayaquil to this place called Montañita, right? And so it may have been a different city, but the point is, I went from one town to the other. I went from Baños, so people can get contact, to Montañita. If I wanted to take a plane there, so even if I have the bread, which of course I could, listen, I could have flown. I had to take a 2-hour or a 4-hour bus ride back to Quito, fly to Guayaquil, and then take 4 hours to Montañita, which is a beach town in the edge of Ecuador, right? The whole trek would have taken me like 14 to 15 hours just because the flights and that's how it was, right? Or I take a bus from one city to the other and it's an overnight bus. The bus was horrendous.
I can imagine.
It's hideous.
It
smelled
like 190 decaying bodies.
But the guy, we're gonna put some B-roll on there so you guys can see. I filmed it. 12 hours on an overnight bus. Same thing. It maybe even saved 2 hours. And I'm sitting there, and the guy is fully reclined. Dude, I don't know if you guys have seen. I haven't seen you. No. It was a regular bus that you could roll back. Look, dog, I'm not saying anything, but like Ecuadorians aren't the tallest. You know what I'm saying? They're maybe 5'4" at best, fully grown men.
The tallest guy, 5'4", yeah, for sure.
And he was reclined all the way back, so I didn't care.
But does it my question is, does it recline as much as a plane or more?
More so, yeah.
More.
So basically,
he's on your lap, and you're just there caressing him.
Yeah, I'm basically braiding his hair, Mario.
You were doing the grandma thing.
Let me love.
You were doing the grandma thing.
Yeah, I'm basically braiding this fucking
Come on and braid
Ecuadorian
my
guy's
hair. Another banger, dog. By the way.
So I'm doing this, and I didn't care. So I don't care for situations like that. I'm not gonna trip out about it. But if it happens, it happens. But it goes to show why. Look, I mean, I'm gonna sound like a total snob.
Yeah, but I know you are. At some point, you were gonna sound like a total snob.
I'm gonna sound like a total snob, but it's a reason why I don't fly coach anymore.
Sorry,
my
dog.
God,
my bad, dog. That somebody reclines the chair 5 inches, dog.
Goodness.
To be semi-comfortable, dog. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, dog.
I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm
Okay,
trying to reason
you have
with
some
you
nerve.
peasants,
No, you're
dog.
not.
No, but like for real. Look, if I have the extra $300 to $400, I'm flying business all day. Look, Creep hadn't flown in business ever.
Right.
And I was like, no, let's go to New York. We got to buy some watches. We got to do a bunch of shit.
Okay.
And Creep, you know, he's a peasant. He's a loser. He's
a super loser. Super mediocre. He's not only a mediocre producer, he's a mediocre human.
Mediocre human in general.
He's a mediocre human being. He sucks.
Below average, right? So whatever. So again, I get these insane amount of points because I put things on the credit card. And I was like, I called up Amex, and I was like, yo, I need 2 business class tickets to New York.
And you have your own concierge and your own French guy. That's why you say everything in French. It comes with the card.
I don't know. So I called him up, and I didn't, whatever. I didn't tell him. And the day we show up, we're like, all right, dog, let's go. And, Delta has its own like business class, whatever. We go in there, and like relax, bro. You relax, you sit down.
Look, man, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that. Okay, I understand business class is better, dog. Whatever. You guys are still losers up there, dog.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying, dog? Like most of you guys got points, probably a voucher. You guys don't know how to act.
I got a
credit. You had one bad experience.
Listen, it was.
I understand. I
Later, I took a flight because I had to ferry an airplane to Minnesota.
Yeah.
I had to fly an airplane, and then on the way back, I had to take.
And you flew coach.
People, I flew with the people in the back. You know what
I mean? with the no, it's not with the people in the back, dog. No, you guys, dog. Let me tell you something, dog.
That's the thing, though, dog. Look, I wish I could relate to you.
Wait until I start hitting on these Special Olympic bets, dog. I'm gonna be sitting business class every time, dog. To how it, dog. I'm betting on your cousin all year long, dog.
That's the thing, dog. Like I look. If you have the privilege, I am super blessed. So, hashtag.
Yes, that's fine, dog.
But if I did sit down with you losers in the back, if I did sit down with you, Rosa Parks,
be upset about you. You wouldn't be upset about the recline. What if somebody did that to you though? Like you went to recline.
Did, but that's the thing. That's what I'm
trying to. What I'm saying is, what if you went to recline and someone was like, "Nah, player, you ain't reclining, dog."
Yeah, no, I'll be like, "Papa, listen, dog. It's all parallel." Is what I'm saying. I would act the exact same way if I did in business class, which I could recline fully because we have lie down chairs and whatever. Or if I was in coach, I would do the same thing. If someone wants to recline on me and I want to braid their hair, I'm going to braid it.
Yes, but what if
I do it,
yeah, if you do it to somebody.
No,
like,
listen. If someone's
they don't
really
want to braid your hair.
If someone's really that uncomfortable and they were like, dude, like don't be a jerk. Like, come on, man. Like, we're all in this. I'll be like, you know what, dog? Yeah, I'm a people pleaser. I'm not going to be like
people pleaser, huh?
I could recline my seat all the way back. I'm not going to do that either.
You're not going to turn around like the lady. I would be upset. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna cause a scene.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not gonna cause a scene.
I have the right to recline. Like, come on, shut up, bro. Just,
I mean, but she's not wrong, and
she's not
maybe
wrong.
Her reaction was wrong, but she ain't wrong. Though.
Also,
you know what I mean?
Here's the bigger picture, and this is a microcosm of much bigger things. It's the recording of it and making it a big deal, because that interaction.
Well, somebody else recorded it.
But that's what
nowadays.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a microcosm of much bigger problem. At the end of the day, like, that interaction happens 1,000%, and someone just says, oh, "Okay, cool." Like, all right, they kind of bicker it out, and then it's just not a big deal. But here comes Twitter, or here comes whatever, picks it up, and they're like, "Oh, this is polarizing. Let's divide ourselves."
And now there's two fat guys in a random podcast talking about it. You know
yeah, exactly. Like, it's not really that big a deal. Like, you just turn around.
No, it's not that big a deal. It was just like more of like, what would you do if you were in that situation type of stuff?
Wi-Fi
but obviously
business,
we know,
so it doesn't really matter.
No.
Next topic. All right, topic number 3.
Ahead,
Goodbye,
buddy.
Alejandro. Oh, yeah, learn how to be a better bartender. Watch out for that. Watch out. Oh my God. No.
dog.
Look, open that up. No, Creep, can you help him, dog? Let me paint the picture of what's happening inside the studio. Alejandro, a mid-tier to low-tier bartender, is trying to remove himself from the studio. Unfortunately, you know, he's stuck in the middle of it.
Here we go.
Goodbye,
All
Alejandro.
right,
Don't come back,
All right,
please.
dude.
Don't come back. Don't ever come back. Christ almighty, dog. All right, can we get the camera, Creep? Is that, I mean...
Next topic. Man comes in uninvited to podcast.
Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, dog, hold on. We're gonna get the camera back. All right, here we go. Topic number 4.
Yeah, you couldn't say it in French, huh?
Topic number quoi?
Oh yeah.
Is it topic number 3 or topic number 4?
4. Oh yeah,
Okay.
the shorts are back. Let me adjust.
Yeah, let me
Now you're
sense.
seeing me calzoncillo. My underwear, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, 10-minute timer. Topic number 4. Hit me with it.
No, it's you.
Okay, cool. All right, so I got this one is a bit of a doozy, and this is something that people are going to Google. Unfortunately, I'm ill prepared for this one. However, we can still talk about it because it's still
that's what we do.
Just as exciting. So it says Australian police charge a woman with 3 murders in alleged mushroom poisoning. Here's what I can gather. I don't know if this is correct, but here's the crux of it. It's the kind of story of mystery novelist might conjure, but for months, a real murder case has been playing out in a small Australian town where 3 people died after eating a family meal that was suspected to contain a poisonous death cap mushroom. Here's the story. These people went out to eat with this lady, right? Whatever. And there was 4 people or 5 people. She went out, she served them food. This food had mushrooms in it. They all ate the mushroom.
Hold on. They went to a restaurant.
No, they went to her house.
To her house.
To her
Okay,
house.
I'm sorry.
And so all these 5 people, and again, anyone can correct me to it because it may or may not have been this way, but it kind of...
Whoever's hip on Australian news, please let us know.
Yeah. I'm going to marry an Australian woman, and I'm over here like, oh, this is kind of sketchy. So here you go. So they all went to her crib. 5 people were eating. 3 people, of which she served everybody mushrooms, 3 people died. The other person and her drank on some sort of elixir, some sort of like anti-cutting of the mushroom poison.
Wait a minute, that's where it gets...
And so the story goes that the other 3 people died of the poisoning. So then she was like, well, I didn't know. I'm just serving, all of us ate it, you know what I mean? But it just so happens that like 2 people that were like her family didn't die, but the other people died. So it's like, was it poisoning? Was it not poisoning? Because you can make an argument. Remember, the law says it's innocent until proven guilty.
Is that how it is in Australia as well?
Yeah, of course. How can you prove that what she is saying is actually true. So we drank a wine as an example. Like, oh, we drank a wine, so we survived.
And it just so happens that the wine...
and it happens that the wine is the antidote to this poisonous mushroom.
She's a murderer. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
She's a murderer. Look at the story. Say the story again. She's a murderer.
She's a murderer.
What is it that's
she's a super murderer. She's going to hell. Yeah, so the other people didn't have the antidote. So they died.
You're even calling it what it is.
Yeah, but so she got charged with murder.
Yeah, of course.
She's been recently charged with murder.
Okay. Yeah.
And they don't know whether it was her or not. It just because again, look.
Then they need to find probable cause too, though.
Exactly. It gets hairy in the way that that they're being tried, because then it'd be like, what? Okay, let's just say it was because remember, you have to be guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
Right. So imagine if you were innocent. Just imagine it. Right. I know how it looks and how it's perceived.
But
right?
if it all was a coincidence,
trial by media, right? Imagine if it were not. If she wasn't actually doing it on purpose. Imagine if she just had some friends over. Them niggas died off some fucking some mushroom shit, and then all of a sudden, like, we just happened to drink it, and it just so happened to play out that way. Let's just say
that's the bean.
What do you do now? You're gonna live the rest of your life for a triple homicide,
so
of
that's
something that you didn't do on purpose.
Dog. No, I get it, dog, but she's still a murderer.
She's a murderous bitch.
That's not a coincidence. Although I probably in Australia, I mean, you've lived there, so Australia would have some like killer mushrooms, like at Publix.
1,000%.
Like you just literally bought like a little bag.
Which is over there.
Oh, is that what it is?
At a Woolies.
Woolies.
Shout out to my Australians who know what a Woolies is. Hey, it's
so now because you're marrying one, are you in Australia? Like, are you gonna start talking all kinds of? You're gonna start a crocodile hunting. That's all I know about Australia.
Shout out to Steve Irwin. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to his kids.
Yeah,
I see their kids on TikTok.
Bro,
it kills me every time. There's one TikTok. There's one TikTok. We're gonna play it now.
This species
I think
is
he's
a turtle
like
that Dad originally discovered out in the wild. And for the first time,
some sort of
got
animal
baby.
who's just
and
like
right now,
it's extinct, and then it gets like revived because they do something.
This is
and it's like my father. It's like this turtle. He discovered this turtle species of turtle in like Western Australia. Come on, shout out to Steve Irwin, a legend. A national treasure.
Seriously.
Finds this one turtle, and he's just like I know my dad would have loved this. Like, and his son, and he looks just like him. Have you seen? Oh, it's disgusting. Dog. And he goes out and he releases the turtle, and the turtle starts like swimming away, and he just like gets choked up for a second, and he's just like I know my old man would have like loved this turtle swimming here. Dude. This was his dream. And then they play B-roll of like the son saying, if my kids can live out even for a second, my dream.
My God.
You know what I'm saying, dog? Like, they piled it. Oh, it was the perfect montage. Yeah. I haven't cried like that in a minute, dog. I wanted to go into the sea and like just start punching stingrays. You know what I'm saying?
Just start
absolutely punching every stingray that I see, dog. Dog. Like you dickhead.
You see what you did? You see what you did?
You know what I'm saying? It's just this tragic.
I can imagine this big fat guy just punching stingray. Florida man punches stingrays. Randomly.
That's exactly what
he was watching Steve Irwin's show.
I'll go out there for vengeance, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be like Dog the Bounty Hunter, dog. Looking for stingray.
Yeah.
Doors down.
Yeah, dog. That's what I'm saying.
Pop it up behind them and shit.
Yeah,
dog.
I went to in Queensland. I'm gonna show a picture of me much slimmer with longer hair and a beard.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah, I went to his actual sanctuary in, I think it's like northern Queensland when I was there. And I'm like sitting in front of like the Steve Irwin, and he's like holding in a bronze statue.
Oh, it's a bronze statue.
It's like yeah, of course it is. And it's like his whole family and like little Bindi and like the other kid there. And then like the mom, like, because he married an American woman, and they're like all there, and they're like just being beautiful. And I just sat there and took a picture, and I was like, oh, this is cool as hell. And the whole experience in that sanctuary is so dope. And shout out to Steve Irwin and his dead corpse. Maybe he's in the back of Colorado.
God damn it.
Maybe he got scammed thinking he was cremated.
He didn't get creamed after all, dog.
He's back there decaying.
God, man. No, the Stingray and the Broad, they're both murderers. Lock them up, send them away, dog. You're not going to tell me the lady didn't kill those people, dog. Killer mushrooms? Are you kidding me, dog? Like, that sounds like a Goosebumps story, dog. You know what I'm saying? R.L. Stein, dog. You know what I mean? No, she killed them.
Did you ever look for R.L. Stein's signature in the Goosebumps covers?
No.
What?
Never. No.
That was a thing.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, of course that was a thing. Yeah, you would buy the book, and then the cover would have his signature. Or it was a her. Wasn't she a her? Creep, look that up while we're fucking. Is R.L. Stein?
Creep's too young
on the
for
poll.
Goosebumps, dog. Creep don't even know Goosebumps,
yeah,
dog. He's like, what is this, dog? R.L. Stein, what is this, dog?
Do you remember, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah. On Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was low-key a little dark in a way.
Okay, dog.
Yeah, it was super dark.
There's like little videos there that I've looked at.
This is an actual thing. I saw recently TikTok where all they didn't speak. R.L. Stein was a guy? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Before I go into that tangent, R.L. Stein used to sign secretly. Oh, look at that. He's kind of like a decrepit old man in a way.
That's exactly how I imagine. That's exactly how I imagine him and M. Night Shyamalan looking like.
M. Night Shyamalan's an Indian man.
Is he?
Yeah.
So he looks like you.
Yeah. Basically, he's my cousin.
He sucks. I hate M. Night Shyamalan.
Because you don't like The Village and you're wrong for the log.
No, I hate all of his movies except for
you don't
Signs.
like Sixth Sense?
Sixth Sense was all right.
Yeah, I see that.
Signs was all right. That's it. And then The Village was awful.
Okay.
I think we spoke about this before.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Night Shyamalan's
but
nevertheless,
the God damn it, now I forgot what I was going to say. The point of all of this mushroom eating shit is that I forgot I remember what I was going to say. On TikTok, there was a TikTok that I recently saw. This was like maybe 3 days ago. It didn't say anything. Didn't show anything. Didn't talk about anything.
Did it have like eerie background music?
No. It was just this. All it did was show the intros to all of the top 90s Nickelodeon intros.
Yeah, you said that to me. I saw it today. I saw it today, dude.
Gave me nostalgia to where it made me sick to my stomach. I felt it physically.
You didn't see what I put? Que tristeza. Like I was like,
I physically felt. I physically felt. It's the Rocco's Modern Life.
Doug. I used to love Doug. I used to love
Doug. Sorry. 10-minute timer.
Oh, God damn it.
10-minute timer. Yeah, 10-minute timer. Okay. Topic number 5. Cinque. Wait, that was Italian.
Japan or something?
Was that Japan?
I have camel's hump. Very good. Can I have some of the camel's hump?
That's so obscure.
Gefilte fish. Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. That's
too obscure.
Super obscure.
That's too obscure.
But if you know, let us know in the comments. I'm not the only old guy in here, dog. Creep's not gonna know. Show me your ass. Show me your ass. Yo, you remember when movies had the greatest bloopers? Like they used to put bloopers at the end of movies in the 90s and early 2000s. That was the greatest thing
Here's my guilty pleasure. I still watch Office bloopers. I could literally recite the Office bloopers. Office like season 6, 6, and 5. I could literally watch bloopers all day. Some of the best bloopers, hands down. Fight me if you think they're wrong. Anchorman bloopers.
Those are the best.
My God, dude. They're so good. There's one that we'll play it out where he's like, he takes his thing out and like Paul Rudd grabs it. He's like, tell me that doesn't feel like a cock. And he takes his leg out.
Feel that. Tell me that doesn't feel like a cock.
And he's like, Paul Rudd is like dying on the inside.
You can see in the actual movie, like that, the last cut, like they're still holding it in, and that's the best they got. Like that's how funny that stuff is, dog.
Oh my God.
Anyways, dog, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
Tangent cam.
There is gonna be a hashtag tangent cam. Let them know about it. And here comes the tangent cam.
Anytime that we go off on a tangent, we're just gonna play tangent cam, so that you can understand that this has nothing to do.
It's gonna be
with the topic at hand.
music in the background. It's gonna be black and white. It's gonna be awful.
Tangent cam. All right, headline
number 5.
Number 5. Last one. So 10-minute timer. Let's go.
Keep the crying theme going.
Okay.
Did you see the video of the dad watching the Texas Rangers win the World Series for the first time? That's probably a creep. If you could pull up the video, dog. The dad's probably like 60 years old.
Let me watch. I've watched it before, but I want to see it again because I'm pretty sure it's just the dad by himself looking in front of the thing, and then he watches it.
Just
and
the
then
final out.
Yeah. And then he just kind of bends down. He looks over
down and he starts crying, and the kid is like recording.
Yeah, that's tough.
The kid thinks it's funny, dog, but that's not funny, dog.
No.
I mean, whatever. Let's not make it about the kid, but like, it got me thinking. It got me emotional because I'm thinking, bro, if the Dolphins ever win a Super Bowl, dog, I don't know how I would react.
See, here's the thing,
I don't even want to, like, I wouldn't even, I think if the Dolphins ever go to the Super Bowl, they would, I would watch the game alone by myself because no matter what happens, the end of that game, I'm crying, right? I'm crying. Like, we lose, I'm crying ugly. We win, I'm crying ugly. So I just started, I looked at that and I was like, Jesus, dog. It took me back to in 06 when I saw the Heat win their first title. I got emotional. Then it took me back to 2010 when they lost. I cried. I cried ugly, dog. It was the worst thing ever. I hate.
Yeah. So I can get really deep about these things, and like whatever. If we're on this podcast, some of it may be funny, some of it may be deep, but like the reality is, my father, he listens to these podcasts.
Yeah.
And I talk about my dad all the time. When I should be talking about my mother as well. Shout out to Sylvia. And she's a really big influence in my life. But there's certain things that my father, specifically for me, influenced me more than my mother. Yeah. And my mother has a real, like, she's an Argentinian woman. So as much as she's very, very passionate about football, and by football I mean like soccer, the love of sports for me came from how my dad reacts to things. I didn't know what it was like to love a sport until I saw my dad love sports. So he tells me to this day, my dad's a Colombian man, born and raised in Bogota, Colombia, which is the capital of the city. And I remember being a kid, a small child, and my dad would always say, when you bury me, when I die, when you're going to bury me in a Santa Fe jersey. And a Santa Fe jersey isn't a Columbia jersey. It isn't like a Miami Heat jersey, which he's a big fan of. Santa Fe is a very obscure. You have to be into Colombian football. And then there's a rival city. And his father, my grandfather, is a diehard opposite fan of where he's from. So like, say for instance,
how did that happen?
Yeah, exactly. So say for instance, we're Dolphin fans, right? Our biggest rivalry, give or take, is the Jets, right? We hate the Jets more than life itself. So imagine your father being a Jets fan and you grow up a Dolphins fan. So that's how it was with his father. His father is a Millonarios fan. And my dad is a hardcore fucking Santa Fe fan. So he would always say, when I die, I want to be known, like, you got to bury me in this jersey, you know? And more specifically, recently, to piggyback off what you're saying, when I was a kid, my mother, again, Argentina was my first team. I didn't love the Dolphins. I didn't know what the Hurricanes were. I knew that later on when I was like 6 or 7. But when I was a really, really young kid, the only thing that I ever knew was Argentina. Argentina was my world.
And not Colombian soccer?
Not even close. The Colombian soccer wasn't a thing.
Because they weren't good.
No, it wasn't because it was so good, but because Argentina was such a prominent thing for my mother that I wanted to, that was just what it was. So like I would watch like Batistuta, all these insanely popular things. But when I was born, the last time Argentina won a World Cup was in 1986, which is a year before I was born, right? So they didn't win it. So I would always hear stories about my grandfather, about my mother watching the World Cup, you know what I mean? And so when they got to the World Cup finals back in 2008 and I saw them lose against Germany, it was the most devastating loss because that is my first love. You were going to be
able to put and then piece everything together.
Yeah. I was able to celebrate with all my cousins, everyone in Argentina. We were world champions. And so when we just won the World Cup last December, what's going to be a year from now, it was the first time that I ever, and I saw 97, the Marlins win. I saw them in 2003. I saw all the championships, 2006, Wayne Wade. Like, I saw all of them. It was the first time in my life where I genuinely cried watching a team win. It's because I had wanted them to win so incredibly bad my entire life that when that, when he hits that last penalty and we're world champions and like Andres Cantor is crying.
Oh my God, that was
he's
another.
saying, he's like, we're champions,
we're champions,
we're world champions.
Yeah.
Argentina campeón del mundo. I genuinely sat there and like everyone in my family was like celebrating, and I just grabbed the pillow and I put it over my face and I cried. I was like, this is what it feels like.
This is it. We're here.
To wait so long and finally be champions. And so that's how I feel about that. Like I sympathize with that guy because my dad taught me how to be a fan of a football team, and my mom taught me how to be passionate about a team above everything else.
Yeah, man. I remember when that particular game happened, and I was talking smack to you the entire. I could not wait to see Argentina lose in the first round in the group stages and everything, dog.
Well, then when we lost against Saudi Arabia.
Yo, that was the best. I loved
that was awful,
dog. I loved every second.
I was in Switzerland
when I loved every second of it. So they win, and then the announcer, what's the dude's name again?
Andres Cantor,
bro. And that was like, all right, like I hate these guys. I don't want Argentina to win, but that's a beautiful thing. And then I thought about you. I was like, man, my guy Gus, dog. Like as much as like he's probably gonna rail me in about a couple hours when she comes back to life.
I didn't even do it.
No, you didn't, and that's how I knew. You know what I'm saying?
Meant
like
more to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I knew. I was like, you know what, dog? I remember that day. We met up, and we went to Miami Beach where like all the Argentinian people were, and you were just there jumping, and I was just there on the side, dog.
And I
felt
what?
like, have you ever seen the movie Hardball?
Yeah,
with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. And,
like when G Baby hits the hit. Yeah, and he's like, and I felt like Keanu Reeves just on the side, just watching everybody celebrate. Dog.
You know what's cool about that day that I don't tell you about? It didn't matter anymore. You were just a fan observing a fan group.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like I recorded it. We're probably let's see if we can even put the video. And I remember recording it because I was like, bro, if Gus ever wants this video of just him and just complete jubilation, like that would be cool. Because if I was there, like for me, I think it's not that I love the Dolphins more than any other team or anything like that, but for me, I put myself like if the Dolphins ever won, it's because they've sucked my whole life. Because your old man
was a big Dolphins fan.
That was probably, he was a diehard Miami everything fan, but I remember the most memories. My dad passed away. The most memories that I had with him was at Dolphins games. He was a season ticket holder. So, bro, we would dress up like we would for Halloween. We would wear we would do. We did it one year like the Halloween mask. Remember the Scream mask? I'm sorry, the Scream mask, and we painted it in orange so that we could go out there. I actually have a picture. Maybe we can put it up as well. Like where I guess we went like on a losing streak. Bro, I was like 5 or 6 years old, and we were playing the Bills, and they brought a sign. It was my dad, my uncle, my cousins, my dad's cousins, and all that stuff. And it had a sign, "No more clowning around." And then we were all dressed as clowns. Now in 2023, it didn't age well, right? Because now we're just a bunch of clowns. But I put myself in that situation. Like even my dad, I don't even think when the Dolphins won, he was alive, but he was like 4 and he was in Nicaragua. Like he probably didn't even know what football was. So he never even got to experience a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I think he saw them in 85, I think, or whatever year, 83, that they went to the Super Bowl and lost or something like that. What had happened. But he never actually got to see them, actually win a Super Bowl. So that day I was just putting and when I see things like that day with you, the Texas Rangers guy, I'm like, bro, that I don't know what I'll do with myself, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's the beauty of like sports in general. And I have they all say that like everybody grows up the same way, and it's like nature versus nurture. When I have my sister is grew up right next to me, and even my brother. But like my brother's really hardcore with it too. But my sister doesn't care for it. Doesn't care for it at all. And so like when you see things like that, when you see an older person that you care about. Like when I saw, like I'll probably never see Colombia win the World Cup, right? Probably never. Let's just be real. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. No, who knows? But if I ever were to see it, or if I ever like my old man passes away and I'm still alive to talk about it, and I see him win that World Cup for the first time, I'm like, damn it, dog. Like you wish that your old man was there to enjoy it, but they're not there anymore. And so when you're lucky enough to be alive when your parent who taught you how to be a fan wins something. It's gotta be like, I understand that he was laughing behind the video, but like, for instance, in my case, if I were to see it, it would be something crazy.
Yeah.
I saw my dad Santa Fe hadn't won in many, many, many years. Yeah. And I told him, my dad's like super against tattoos and I'm tatted all up. And I told him, Dad, if Santa Fe ever wins the Colombian championship, which they hadn't won. Imagine how bad it was that they used to be called Santa Fe, which like, because they used to win many years ago, which means like Santa a long time ago. That they hadn't won in a long time. They won, and this was years ago. They had won many times after that, but they hadn't won in so long. And they finally won a thing. And I was like, you have to tattoo a lion on your tan. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. He hasn't done it. The point is, he won this, like they did it. And so if I ever got to see the privilege of someone that you just love so much and you idolize the way that they love a team in general, and I'm able to see it, that is one of the most pure, thing, like raw, unadulterated emotions that like most people aren't able to see. It's almost like seeing like your parents, achieve greatness, or even like your kids, dude. It's literally a beautiful,
and it's just sports, dog. But it's just something, dog. It's something.
It's moving.
It's very moving because it's tied to a lot of different memories and different things. I think that's why. Maybe that guy was probably going through the same thing. He probably watched, the Rangers with his dad and, whatever. Now he's 60 years old. His dad probably passed.
Yeah.
And now he see it for the first time, dude. That's crazy.
Look, right now, the Dolphins, and maybe they don't do shit, but whatever.
We're winning the damn Super Bowl.
But what I'm saying
I'm
is,
crying.
Look, my boy Gallo, his stepdad, which basically raised him, is basically like his dad. Yeah. When we were kids, I would go to my boy Gallo's house, and he would be like obsessed. Imagine they had a dog named Marino. Like, they're obsessed. One of the very first memories I have of watching the Dolphins is he took me to a game. I was a hardcore Dolphins fan, and Dante Culpepper was our quarterback for the very brief stint that he did. Right? We sat back there, and we had to eat the sun. 4 hours before the canopy. It was horrendous. Awful. And we were like in the sun section. Yeah. Which was pretty much everybody.
Well, no, it was everywhere because there was no canopy.
Exactly. And we were back there, and those are some of the first memories I have. And like for him, let's say for instance we go to the Super Bowl, and let's say for instance we win that Super Bowl, that feeling of watching someone go through so many seasons and like that, like the Rangers
entire life.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
An entire life, dog. Yeah. But we're here.
Yeah. So anyway, that ends up I'm sorry to end that on such a somber.
I don't even know how we got here.
No, but it's cool. It's cool because we could also it just goes to show that like there are some things that are. We started off this thing with like hot Down syndrome girls,
and now we end up here.
And now we end up with
like, now we're gonna have to listen to Juan Gabriel and just let it all out.
Yeah. Let's do it. And so we thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you like this podcast. We're gonna do it every single Sunday at 12 o'clock. This podcast is gonna come out. Tune in, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna throw a lot of content out there. If you guys have any trending topics that are down for us to talk to and you want us to talk about it, drop it down in the comment below. If you've made it this far in the podcast, first off, you're a sick maniac for listening to our stupidity for an hour, but drop it down in the comment below. Let's talk about it. You might see it in next week's episode. Every Sunday, 12 o'clock, put the clock or put the alarm on your phone.
Yeah, put it.
And that way you can get the reminder, hit the notification bell, and we're going to talk it. Remember, the VVS podcast, Very, Very Senseless.
Just to add to that real quick before we go, we have the Instagram page, which you can comment on that as well, DM, whatever. It's the.VVS podcast. On Instagram, we also have the email. It's thevvspodcast@yahoo.com.
Yep. You can email us there if you have any topics. By all means, reach out to us. We're more than happy to talk about it. And we'll see you guys next Sunday, 12 p.m. Holla.
Let's get it.
Dale.